Good evening and welcome to Garbage Theater, Shark Month. Tonight's good.
Oh God! Oh God! A second shark! Oh God! This one seems like a cheap cash grab with half the star power of the first one. Oh God!
All right, folks, welcome back to another episode of Garbage Theater Shark Month. I'm your host, Chase, with my co-hosts, Blake and John.
Howdy.
Yeah.
John, why don't you do the honors this week?
Oh, jeez.
Damn, on the spot.
What am I honoring?
What we
Dolph
say?
Lundgren.
Oh, man. I ruined it already.
You ruined it.
Let's get this shit show on the road.
Thank you. Shark Lake.
Shark Lake.
Yes.
I have a feeling Blake has a lot to say about this movie.
Oh, rights were violated in this movie.
This is what libertarians see when they have nightmares.
Yes. I at one point I said out loud, "You do not have a warrant, young lady."
Well, we'll get
Well, like
into-
everybody was going in his house without
yeah.
permission. It
Yeah.
wasn't even just the police.
Right?
Yeah. As I was telling John before we started recording, this is a top-notch group of cops here.
Oh yeah.
They all graduated top of their class.
We can assume.
Yeah.
We have to assume.
So let's start from the beginning of this fantastic film. First, I do want to point out that the lead in this, opposite Dolph, Officer Hernandez. Do you recognize her, Blake?
I do not.
No, she was Sinclair from Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs.
Shut up.
Yep.
She was
She
in
was-
Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs?
Yeah, she was the assistant to Mohawk from Mad Max.
Wow.
So there you go.
So I guess
She did
this
that.
Was,
She did that after this.
Rich. What a rich pedigree.
I was just about to say she finally got a film where like she didn't have to stick her boobs out to be like
Nope.
part of the film.
Nope. Step down.
Wow.
She was also in Sharktopus.
Really?
And get this. She's also in that goddamn Belly of the Beast movie with Seagal.
Oh my
Which we
God.
will be watching.
So prolific.
We'll see. We'll see. Where are your notes at tonight?
They're around. They're somewhere. I'll tell you where they're at. They're in my mind.
There you go. Let's hope, because I'm already 3 ahead.
That changes tonight, my friend.
Okay, so we start off this little fable with the Lake County cops marching through the woods.
Just
And they're
sneaking around
Sneaking
with
around.
an apparent purpose.
yes,
I would
Well,
almost say skulking.
It looks like they're looking for something or somebody.
yeah. They come upon a cabin, and in this cabin that they just walk right on in.
Yeah. No knock warrant.
Nope, just walk right on in. There's blood and cages with all manner of exotic animals.
Well, okay, so one thing, maybe they have cause because it looked like the lock had been tampered with or something. Like the door was ajar already.
Are you like really trying to infuriate me right now?
Well, I'm just saying, like, we have no idea what they're there on. And
We
we never find out why they were
No.
there in the first place.
They just happen to be there.
I don't like it.
In their search of this cabin amongst all the exotic animals, there's a little girl left alone. And there's some tire screeches, and a van pulls out. and it's our hero Dolph.
Why in movies it doesn't matter what surface a vehicle is on, you'll hear the tire screeching sound?
Yeah. They're on a dirt road the whole time, and they're just like, it sounds like they're in a parking garage.
Yeah.
Well, when you're dealing with as high a quality film as Shark Lake.
Oh, well. When you put it in words like that, I mean.
Yeah.
So, can anybody tell me what the blood was about? Does anybody have any idea?
Ambiance? I don't know.
I'm just... there's like a lot of blood. There's like a handprint. There's blood on the walls, blood on the floor, and then a bloody knife. Right, and then in the car, he's got a bandage on his hand.
He's got a bandage on his hand, so I can only assume in his rush to get out, he nicked himself.
But what was he doing? It's... Oh, man.
It
the
was
first time
a-
I didn't even think about it. I was like, I don't know.
It was a
wasn't paying
very
close enough attention.
unnecessary detail.
Yeah.
It just complicated the matter. So, Dolph, bloodied, is in his getaway van, and he is aptly outrunning this police cruiser in his van.
Oh, yeah.
In his Ford Econoline van.
Yes. You're meant to believe that he's some sort of professional,
Yes.
which I'm very...
Because the sheriff riding with the deputy is saying that, why are you driving so crazy? Just wait for him to make a mistake. And she says, he's not going to make a mistake.
That's right.
He's the best there is at what he does.
He's handling that van in just the perfect way where it would outrun anything.
I will tell you this. I'm very upset to hear John mention the Ford Econoline van. Because I definitely wrote that down.
That was something you were expecting from the trivia.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
I would have missed that one.
Telling you, man, I had extensive notes.
So, they're going down the road. The deputy decides she's going to start ramming Dolph off the road,
Right.
which causes him to have to steer out of the way of another vehicle through what appeared to be a CG guardrail.
It was
Definitely.
It was a CG guardrail and a CG Econoline van.
Most of this movie, I was guessing what elements I was seeing were real and not. And most of the time, the things that were not real, I don't know why they had to be CG.
Oh,
They didn't have the budget to wreck that van. Or a guardrail.
The guardrail. They didn't have a guardrail there?
No guardrail.
well, they'd have to pay the county to fix it. You don't want the taxpayers to pay for it, do you?
And he launches himself out
Yeah.
into like the middle of the lake.
Right.
He doesn't. There's no embankment. He just flies off a cliff out into the middle of the lake. No, there is an embankment because he climbs up it when he comes back out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, he swam back to it, but yes, as you said, he launches himself out into the lake.
Way out
And-
into the lake.
As his van is sinking, in the headlights, we see him swimming away, and a shadow emerges and swims in front of the headlights of a very terrible CG shark.
Dude,
Now,
I didn't even know that happened.
what?
I did not see that.
That's how the shark gets in the lake initially.
I thought we just found that out later. I didn't know that they actually had photographic evidence of it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
While he's swimming away, in the headlights, the shark shadow goes in front of it.
No shit.
Yeah. Because I'm assuming he's got the shark in like an aquarium tank in the back of the van.
It's in a big plastic bag.
Yeah, just
Like you
in
get
a
from
big
the
old
fan.
bag. Yeah.
Because I don't think, other than that shot, it doesn't really. They don't ever really say that he was hauling the shark in the van. They just say that he put the shark in the lake.
I thought it was just he put a shark in a lake. Like I didn't know that they actually. I totally missed that.
It was a totally separate event.
Well, I guess we should have watched the first one.
There was a first one?
No.
Oh.
So, yeah, because, I mean, the law enforcement here, they just assume everything. So, they just assume, oh, yeah, he put the shark in the lake. They never say, oh, no, I was hauling it in the van to meet the dude, and you ran me off the road and it got loose.
Right.
They never say
Right.
that.
Huh.
You know, they couldn't have known.
So the cops just as much as fault as he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for their recklessness.
The cops are at fault for a lot of things that they don't want to own up to.
You can use the whole "but for" thing. That shark would not be in the lake but for you ramming his Econoline van.
Yeah. So
Also the depth of this lake varies.
It's all over the
wildly.
place.
As well
It's
as the
all over
clarity.
place.
yeah.
Yes. So yeah, he that van sank immediately.
Yeah.
I think in that shot it's sitting on the bottom of the lake,
Like a goddamn stone.
which is like the shot after he goes through the barrier.
So when he climbs out onto the beach, the deputy comes down, gun drawn, tells him to kneel down. He's not even in water he can stand in yet. And he finally gets to where he's getting out of the water, and she pops him.
Yeah. Which is right then I was like, okay, these people really don't follow procedure.
Yeah, that's not a good shooting.
Yeah. So she wings him, and he's like, okay, already.
I know, I'm under arrest.
Enough with the bullets.
Jeez. He's just annoyed by being shot, really.
Well, he is Drago.
Well, he's Dolph Lundgren. Yeah, he's Drago.
Yeah.
So they take him back to the station. They're getting info on the little girl. Her mom's gone. She died. There's no one else. So the sheriff says, well, CPS is coming. And the deputy, well, she doesn't like that.
That doesn't sit right.
No, doesn't sit right with her. Then a 5-year time jump hits.
Yeah.
And we find out that the deputy has adopted the little girl.
Right.
She gave, before at the end of that shot, she gave a look like, well, I'm in a movie, so it looks like I'm going to have to adopt this girl.
I'm in a movie, so either give me the girl or give me a low-cut shirt. It doesn't matter which one.
So they're at her swim class, where she's proclaiming that swimming's stupid.
Swimming is stupid.
And then the
Everyone
man-hating
knows
started.
swimming is stupid.
The man-hating agenda began in this movie.
What?
What you mean, what?
No, what?
You didn't. You caught the shark swimming in front of the headlights, but you didn't catch the whole anything you can do, I can do better, can do attitude that was going on next to that pool.
Okay, well, what she actually says.
You don't expect me to remember that, do you? I just remember.
So there's the 3 boys on the other side of the pool, and she says to the girl, it's like, oh, they can do it, but you can't?
I don't remember.
That's not man-hating.
I don't remember exactly what was said. I just remember being triggered by it.
I just remember being angry and belligerent.
Exactly.
But wrongly.
No, go back and watch
Wrongly.
it.
No, I watched it twice. And then she says to the girl, there are 2 types of girls in this world. Those who say I can't, and those who say watch this.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Where's the show me exactly the part that hates men in that.
She should have said there are 2 types of girls in this world: those who quit, and those who get their ass in the kitchen.
God.
I'm joking. Jesus. Maybe there wasn't as much man-hating as I thought.
There's very little man-hating.
I think there is some, though.
Well, we'll talk about it, I guess, when we get there.
We'll hash it out as we go.
Yeah.
So we hard cut to them going home, and she's got her deep end bracelet.
See, now this was something that I noted that I actually thought was pretty good filmmaking.
Okay.
Was
That
I
one
liked
cut?
that one cut. It was nice. You know, like she gives her the speech, the pep talk. Boom, cut to her with her wristband on. That's kind of nice.
You want to know why it wasn't a good piece of filmmaking?
Why?
Chalk it up to scene 2 that I didn't even notice. I thought she quit.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I think it's good that you lost your notes because they are probably wildly inaccurate.
I don't remember the wristband.
Oh,
He's
this
got
is
written down the part
fantastic
where
already.
Carly's mom goes over there and pushes all them boys in the water just because she hates them.
Oh, damn it.
So then we see Dolph getting out of prison. Then CPS is trying to let Dolph see his kid again because she's his kid.
Yeah.
He
And
got rights.
The deputy's not having any of it.
Yeah.
Because he's the worst human being on the planet. Because he's got 2 assault charges and he's been trafficking animals, one including a goddamn tiger.
Yes.
Goddamn tiger. She doesn't know that tiger was for Scarface.
Speaking of Scarface, can we talk about Dolph Lundgren's face for a little while?
Okay. Go for it.
I mean, Jesus. It looks like it looks like his face got caught on fire and somebody put it out with a fork.
He's looking rough.
He's
getting
a
up
little
there.
weathered. He's been through a lot. He had to fight for his country of the Soviet Union. He had to defend Eternia from Skeletor.
Gotta
He's seen some
defend
shit.
Eternia.
He was
been through a
the
lot.
Punisher that one time.
Yeah.
In a movie I never saw and can't give a more detailed description of.
I don't know, killed some ninjas probably.
Probably more than likely in that. Maybe.
Fought in Vietnam and was frozen for a while and came back. And worst of all,
So-
as Drago, lost his wife to Flavor Flav.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That's what happened.
That happened. That's the side story of that happened. That's in the book of Rocky.
Exactly.
That didn't make it to the screen.
Yes.
They had to cut that.
Well, it makes sense because Flav's teeth are more impressive.
Well, yeah. I don't know why I'm going back to that reality show, but
Yes.
that was disturbing.
So, the deputy has this whole "I am the law" attitude going,
Right.
where she's just gonna deny everything, make a call, do whatever you can to stop him from ever seeing his kid again.
Right.
We get some establishing shots of some kids at the techno beach.
Just yeah. These scenes, these beach scenes are like commercials for butt. It's just like shots of butts everywhere.
Whoever's in charge of the music loves some dubstep, though.
Oh yeah, that's all. I wrote soundtrack by GarageBand app.
Yeah. When it wasn't poorly done EDM music, my Netflix subtitles always said mysterious music at all times.
Yeah,
so
I
do
got that too.
Mysterious
I got that
music.
too.
So yeah,
Music's so mysterious.
So there's frivolity of everyone having fun at the beach, and the landscapes of this lake that they're showing are varying wildly.
Yes.
There's like big, steep, rocky cliffs, and then there's just like little, like suburban community lake.
Yeah. Also, this is the biggest
Yeah.
lake in existence, from what I can gather.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's a great lake, pretty much. You can see it from space. It's so big.
Yeah.
Now, maybe you guys know more about lakes than me, but all these shots, all these underwater shots look more like an ocean.
Oh yeah,
You got sandy bottom.
the shallow, wavy, sandy bottoms. Yeah,
None of the underwater scenes were filmed in a lake.
no.
Zero. Not even the ones where they were so lazy not to put the actors in the water, but green screen them into the water.
Oh my god!
But they had to shoot them in a green screened
Water.
tank of water. They were in water. They didn't just have them in scuba gear, like suspended by wires, pretending. They were actually in water.
You could tell by the edges of the bubbles, like that weren't just jiving right with the green screen.
Yeah.
So weird. There was like so many levels of weird to those shots.
When that shot first
You got
happened,
the-
you
you got
know,
the-
it's one of those things where it's so bad, but for that split second, your mind's saying, "Well, that doesn't look like your mind just doesn't grasp it at first."
Yeah,
it's just
you're
like-
is this weird?
Why are they're not moving as quickly as they should be at this point? And it was weird. I don't know.
Yeah. So from here we go to this old couple taking a stroll through the woods,
Oh yeah.
and the grandma here is very concerned about the bears.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the active bear signs? Are the bears active? What
Do you
about the
think-
bears?
Do you think the bears are active? that line kind of made me laugh a little bit.
Well, she was only questioning the bear's active sign.
Yeah, yeah.
All I could think about, and it's terrible, but with all the EDM music and everything, I was like, does she mean bears or does she mean bears?
I kept thinking about how her old man didn't care about the sign at all.
Yeah,
Probably gave him a hard on.
as signs do. But
Most excited he's been in years.
but when I saw, when she said, "Are the bears active?" I was like, "You goddamn right they are."
More active than you're prepared for.
Absolutely.
So they're getting where they need to be. He's gonna do some panning for gold.
Another similarity with avalanche sharks. Another prospector.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She needs to go back because she forgot her iPad that she wanted to take some pictures of.
Right.
With.
So she can shove it in her stupid bitch friend's face.
So she goes back to get the iPad, and he's like, "Yeah, get lost, you old bitch."
Right.
So, so
Her husband is actively wishing for her friend's death.
so he starts panning for gold and immediately finds some.
Well, yeah.
Like right there. His first dip of the pan into the water. He finds a big nugget of gold.
That's not how it happens.
So Granny's on her way back to the house. She gets spooked by a squirrel,
And then smiles
which
at
gives
it.
her and smiles at it. And then you hear Gramps scream in the distance. So she goes running back to him, and she breaks her goddamn leg doing it.
Yeah.
She bites it fucking hard on a rock.
Just face plants.
Which wasn't even necessary. Like, nothing was chasing
it was
her.
necessary. It was necessary to do that so that the sheriff could later make a crack about her not being Usain Bolt.
Oh, he's dropping so many lines in that scene.
So, needless to say, Gramps gets chomped. He loses an arm. She gets back to him and rolls him over, and he's dead.
So, we get some more underwater shots in this scene. He's like, walking through the water, and it comes up like below his knees,
Right.
and all the water.
Most shark attacks happen in less than 2 feet of water.
Yeah.
But he couldn't see that. He couldn't see a shark.
You don't watch
coming?
Jaws,
He
man?
just found a nugget of gold in his first attempt doing this.
Look.
So he's distracted by the shiny object,
Yes.
and the shark can just beach itself and rip his
If
arm
you got
off.
if you got a wild hair up your ass to go to the nearest lake and pan for gold, and you found a nugget the first time you dipped that bowl in there, you wouldn't be paying attention to shit around you either.
Well, once again, contrary to what the underwater shots would tell you, lakes don't have clear water.
yeah.
So he probably wouldn't notice it.
All right.
Shut that shit down right now.
Yeah. Fuck me.
How dare you bring logic into this conversation?
And then this is
We
when
don't deal in that in this podcast.
then the movie starts just like showing clear disdain for its viewers. Because they try to set up some kind of mystery about what happened to him. Fucking movie's called Shark Lake.
Now this movie just gets silly.
Yeah. So, the sheriff and the deputy are on the scene now of the attack, and the sheriff says, "Oh, it was a bear. He was in the water. That's where the bears feed. Bear came out. We're in bear woods. There's bear active signs
That's right.
everywhere. Bear came out.
I
and
mean,
got
don't
him.
you hear
He
the
did."
EDM music?
Yes. And so the deputy says, "No, I'm not sure. It doesn't sit right with me. We can't rule out that this wasn't a homicide."
To which point I said, good cop.
She cannot believe it's possible a bear could have done this.
Well, there was no tracks on the beach.
I just love how much the sheriff is just cracking wise this whole time.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck that this guy got ate by a bear.
Not at all.
He's like joking around, calling the
Calls
bear,
the bear
Yogi.
And
Calls the bear Yogi. Calls the old lady Usain Bolt.
and you got to figure, it's a small town, so he probably knows the guy.
Yeah.
They were probably tourists. He doesn't care about tourists.
So, okay, we leave that with the deputy not liking the bear theory.
Right.
He also calls the dead guy an asshole.
Yeah, he does.
Well, there you go. So back at Dolph's house, the cabin from earlier, he walks in, and there's just some dudes up in his house.
Also,
Waiting
More
for him.
people just uninvited in his house.
the house is pristine at this point.
Yeah.
Who's been cleaning the house?
Yeah.
Who cleaned up all the blood
What?
all over the walls?
It was all evidence. We had to scrape it up.
Okay. All right, that tidies that up.
Yeah, it does.
Question answered.
So he comes in. These two goons are in there. He just beelines to the kitchen and starts cooking up a steak.
That's right.
That's been in there for 5 years.
With his giant
No,
knife.
he brought the steak home.
Oh, he brought it home?
Yeah.
It was in his car. He pulled it up.
Yeah, he had it in
I thought
a
he
brown
pulled it out
bag.
of the fridge.
We're so desperate to find shit to crap on in this movie.
We're just making shit up that happened at this point. So he starts cooking up a steak. They tell him that old Don wants him to keep working for him. He doesn't want to. They try to force him, and he fights back.
He listfully fights back.
Yeah, it wasn't the spryest movements.
No.
This was like the limpest little action scene.
But when he slammed the knife down into the chopping block, and it just stood there, like, I couldn't help but think of the knife commercials again. Like, like you see a guy slam a knife down into a chopping block like that, you gotta realize he's got 46 pocket knives and a battle axe somewhere. It all comes in the set.
So he drives the two guys out and starts to eat his steak with his big Bowie knife.
Right.
He takes like the wimpiest little bite though. It was really funny. He's like,
Well, it was hot.
I know, but it was just the visual was hilarious. He's like pulling the steak out of his, slapping it on the counter, cutting it with his giant knife, and then he takes this like little delicate bite out.
Well, I was with you on that because what I noticed was the fact that he's using the knife to do everything, and he gets a little piece of the steak on the edge of the knife, but then he lightly blows on it before he takes the bite.
Yeah.
It was like up until then he threw caution to the wind, but he's like, I ain't burning the roof of my mouth.
And they set up the knife and everything. He pulls it out of his car and tucks it in his pants.
Yeah.
And then he's got this lame little fight scene where the knife doesn't show up. He's already just jammed it into his cutting board.
Yeah.
I'm like, why establish the knife? What's this knife for?
Oh, it comes back at the end.
Does it?
Yeah.
Did it? Okay, there'll just be another little surprise for
I
us.
can't wait.
So we cut back to the sheriff, the deputy, and the little girl, and they're playing some kind of strange game where the little girl thinks of a random person, and then she has to guess who it is without any clues or anything.
Yeah. I was like, what game is this? This is just some frustrating child's game.
I'm gonna think of a random human being, and you just have to guess who it is. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's Louis G, dummy.
Yeah, you idiot. Could have been anybody in the world, but it was obviously your boss.
It's that asshole Yogi Bear.
So they sit down to eat, and and she's asking her about the bear attack.
For some reason, she's under the impression that the bear is still eating the guy.
Yes, currently. They're overheard by a man sitting at the bar, who comes out and says that he has a PhD, and he's in town writing a paper on trout sex.
Right.
Because that's how you break the ice there.
It's one-on-one on how not to sound creepy.
Yeah. So
I got a
if you haven't
PhD in
guessed-
Trout D.
If you haven't guessed, this guy is the Hooper of the movie.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
He's the oceanographer that happens to be in town.
Right.
And he starts laying his stats on her about how, it's probably not a bear because there's only been a handful of fatal bear attacks since 2000, and dogs have killed more people than bears in just the last year alone since then.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately, I had
So
all
it's
those
probably something
statistics
else.
written down in my notes.
so back home, we're introduced to the sheriff's mom and her son of a bitch dog.
She fucking hates that dog.
I
Grandma
don't-
hates that dog.
I don't want to jump too far ahead, but there's another scene coming up with the grandma and the dog, and I would watch a 90-minute movie on just the relationship of these two characters. This old woman and this dog that she hates.
I think the dog hates her back, too.
Make the dog able to talk, or that we can hear its thoughts,
Right.
and that's the fucking movie. Just title it, God damn it, I hate this dog.
I hate this dog. So she's just went down there cleaning up some piddle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dog had a little accident.
So she's still harping on the fact that it couldn't possibly have been a bear. They're talking about how Dolph is free from prison and he's gonna try to get to see her at some point,
Right.
but she's still not having it. Cut to Beach Carnival.
Dude, it's straight Burning Man out there.
Just a bunch of hapless teenagers partying and out on the beach.
This is a late night version of the butt commercial.
Right.
And this is our opening scene of Jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Where
bears were active that night, my friend.
Yeah. A couple strays away, they're gonna go for a little dip. The guy cuts himself randomly whittling a piece of wood.
She like asked them to make a
start
fire.
a fire, yeah.
They just came from a fire. It's a big fire right over there.
Yeah, but you can't do them in front of all those people.
It's Burning Man, dude. Anything goes.
So we established that he's bleeding because that was important.
Right.
They go into the water, and wouldn't you know it, they get attacked.
Right.
Well, he gets attacked.
Yes.
He gets attacked by being pulled off screen and replaced with a shot of CG red water.
Right.
Yeah. So lame. They're just like, yeah, that's a good kill.
And then that's it. That's all it was. He gets
Just-
pulled off shot, and then there's an out of place shot of bubbling red water.
That's it.
That is not real. So we cut to the next day, and we've got a scuba guy, and he's doing his scuba thing, clearly not in a lake. And I don't know
Yeah.
what he's doing because there's nothing to see down there. It's just an endless span of sand.
Right.
So this was the oceanographer.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure-
I didn't even get that. I just thought it was some guy because this movie.
Well, of course
I
I,
did too.
didn't get it.
So because he's swimming around, and he finds some boxer shorts. I'm
Yeah.
assuming belong to the guy that got et earlier. Right outside of a underwater crevasse,
Ah, nice. A crevasse.
which he peeks into and gets spooked, and that's
Oh.
all we. Yeah, and that's all we see of that.
But we don't know what he got
Cut.
spooked by.
Nope. Cut away, and we got some hunters walking through the woods with their dogs, and they're looking for the bear. And they're talking about how, my wife's going to take me back once I get this bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what wives look for. It's a successful bear hunter.
That's how I saved my marriage.
Yeah.
And then,
I'm gonna win you back, girl. I'm gonna get that bear.
My wife was pissed about World of Warcraft, went and bagged me a bear, and we're good to go.
still no Warcraft, though.
Oh no, that can never darken our doors again.
Well, killing a bear is the height of romance. I think that's
Oh yeah.
well established.
Not many people know this, but John and I have a standing pact that at 75 years old, we're going to go and fight polar bears until we're killed by them.
Good luck.
Oh well,
You
I thought
remember
we
that?
were just gonna fight one.
Well, I think it's only going to take one. I mean, for being completely
Yeah,
honest
you're not
here.
gonna win. You're not Dolph Lundgren.
The idea is that
We're going to give it the old college try.
yeah. Well, the idea is that if we are killed, we're killed in the
The most
by a
badass way
fucking
possible.
polar bear.
Oh yeah,
But if we survive, then we're hardcore.
we win.
First off, you're not surviving. But it would get you immediate entry into Valhalla, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're going for here.
That being the goal.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you're not winning. You could be 25 years old. You're not fucking winning.
You know what though? By the time we're 75, there's not going to be any polar bears left anyway.
Oh.
Well, Alec Baldwin took down a bear. If he can do it.
That's right. That's right. And Leonardo DiCaprio.
Not a polar bear.
Yeah, he... We're splitting hairs
Well,
now.
I hope
We're
y'all do.
splitting
I
bears
really
now.
hope y'all do that.
Oh,
Yeah, that's gonna be an extremely gruesome way to die too. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Because that bear ain't gonna do it quick. You're gonna feel his canines piercing your skull before you die, and it's gonna be wonderful.
Well, see, here's the thing. It can't kill us both at the same time. So someone's going to die, and then the other one's going to go,
Nope.
no, sir, I don't like it.
No, one of you's gonna see the other one die, try to shag ass out of there, but you're 75 years old in hip deep snow, riddled with
We
diabetes.
wind up just dying of exposure just looking for the
Right.
bear.
Probably.
Anyway,
Yeah, that has nothing to do with this. Irregardless.
so he says, I'm going to get my wife back once I get this bear. And then cut to a bear. And then cut to him shooting at the bear.
Boom.
And then cut to a different scene.
Yeah.
See, this is like... So, I guess the writers thought that they was being smart.
Yeah.
So... They,
You know that whole sequence in Jaws where they go out hunting for the shark and they catch a different shark and there's that whole scene on the dock? Let's put that into 3 cuts that last 2 seconds.
But they also, like... So, in Jaws, they talk about how that shark is rare for those waters and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
In this, we got a sign telling us that there's bears around.
There's
They
bears
find-
active everywhere.
They find a bear and shoot a bear. So all they do is
Good
make
enough.
another plot hole.
Good enough for the Lake County PD.
Yeah.
One less bear in the world.
Poor thing.
Nah, they drank it. It was a tranquilizer. They made a point of that too.
Yeah.
Did they? Oh, yeah,
So-
that's right. They did say that.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're back at the sheriff's station, and the sheriff's all happy that they got the bear. It was a bear. I was right. And then old PhD Hooper comes in. Pete is his actual
Right.
name. Peter.
Yeah.
something, comes in and he says, "No, it wasn't a bear." And he plops a cooler down on the table, and they open it and look in. And, my God! But we're not privy to that information, not yet, audience.
No.
This is the point. This is the point where, in my notes, I just started calling them Brody and Hooper.
Well,
And
yeah.
I warned them that they wouldn't get their names back until they started doing something original.
I just called him PhD through all my notes. I didn't even dignify him with a name. So, now back to more beach time frivolity, and we're parasailing, and everyone's having a good time, even though people are dying
Well,
left and right on this beat on this.
I
lake.
gotta agree with the review that John read last week when it said that he really liked the parasailing thing. And I have to agree. That was a spectacularly filmed scene right there.
They really nailed it. All the suspense.
So as it rolls out, the sheriff is giving his press conference, saying that we got a bear, everything's good. The deputy and PhD come rolling up, screaming, "Get out of the water! It wasn't the bear!" And panic ensues. And the second panic breaks out, the sharks attack.
Yeah.
And when I say attack, I mean they silently glide across the front of people and then erase their limbs from
Yes. That's exactly what happened.
a shark
then-
jumps, raises out of the water at the parasailers and just kind of obscures one of their legs. And when he goes back down, her leg's gone.
Yeah.
And she's just spewing blood out of the stump.
Right.
Video game blood.
Yeah.
I didn't even see a shark in that scene. Her leg was just underwater and it popped out of the water and it was gone.
It was a shark, but
Really?
When it cuts to it, the shark's already out of the water and biting her. It's less than a second the shark's on the screen.
That's how you create tension.
Yeah, Spielberg didn't show the shark. We're going to show it for a millisecond.
Christ.
We can do it a little different.
So, in this analogy, parasailing girl is, you guys okay over there?
Yeah. You guys okay over there?
She got her leg bit off. He got
Friggin'
his leg
shark.
bit off.
There's a superimposed shark fin swimming behind people that looks like it's in front of them, even though it's supposed to be behind them. And this, all of that happened so fast. I looked down to write the notes of just the sheriff's giving a press conference, and when I looked up, all of that had already played out.
Oh yeah, it happened quickly.
And I had to rewind it and watch it again. Because the shark attacks are dead silent.
Yeah.
And super uninteresting.
So, that happened. A lady got her leg bit off, and who knows how many other people got attacked. Back at the sheriff's station, they're just sitting there like, man, we really dropped the ball on that one.
Oops.
It's revealed that the cooler has the old man's arm in it that was missing. And they can tell from that it was actually a shark. Just like they find the swimmer's arm in Jaws, and they can tell that it was a shark. This jumbling up Jaws does not make a new movie.
Nope. Just rearrange the scenes.
So the sheriff goes into his whole sharks can't live in a freshwater lake. PhD goes, well, bull sharks can, so there.
Now, I thought this was kind of interesting, so I had to look it up.
Oh, it's true.
Okay.
It is true. It is
absolutely
true. And I found the exact website. They got every bit of information they used.
Was it the top one when you Google bull sharks freshwater?
Yeah. It's like a page on sharksavers.org. There was at least one sentence that was verbatim from this page.
But not to get too coon-assy on the show, but yeah, whenever we lived in Bures, we always heard of people catching bull sharks in the river right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it definitely happens.
Yeah.
Now,
So
nobody's
in this
parasailing
kind
in the
of- in this
Mississippi
tier-
River, though.
Yeah.
Yes. In this kind of movie, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
To have real shark science.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering how they're
Well-
going to do the lake thing, because it had totally slipped my mind. And when they said bull sharks, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It does work that way.
Okay. You said real shark science. We're going to get to a point later where I'm going to dispute that. This is the only thing that they researched.
Oh no, I'm not. That's also what I'm saying. They found whatever they could on this one page, and brushed off their hands and moved on.
So they decide somebody has to kill the shark. And they said, well, our lake doesn't have any rivers that run to the ocean, so someone had to have put it there.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
See, that's the first I had heard that a shark got put in there by him at that point.
Even though we saw a shark in the first
Yep.
5 minutes of the movie.
Never noticed.
So, next scene, Dolph shows up to try to see his daughter. Granny hates her dog, tells him, get the hell out of here, you bastard.
That's right.
Take a hike. And Granny decides she's got to call the deputy and let her know. And she's gives her the text, and the sheriff drops everything and starts to head home.
Yeah.
Something I found funny, because like once we had that initial scene of her hating the dog, I was looking for more proof about how much she hates the dog. When she pulls up her phone, her background is a cat.
She's got a little
Like,
kitty cat on her
I don't
phone.
even think they have a cat. She just hates the dog so much. She put a cat as her background
Son of
to
a
antagonize him.
I think Chase is right. We need a movie about just them two.
The best scene of the movie's coming up. I can't wait till we get to
Right.
it with the granny and the dog. So the deputy drops everything. She's gonna head home.
Yeah. How dare he try to exercise his rights as a father?
Yeah. So now they decide they're gonna close the beach, and they put the beach closed signs up, just like in Jaws.
Yeah.
Only 24 hours. But
And no mayor showed up
At least
either.
they,
So
at
I guess
least they
that's
did it
something.
right away. But.
yeah. The deputy gets back home and tells the girl that, your dad, he's not a bad person, but if you see him, you better run like hell.
If you see something, say something. We don't know what happened while your dad was
But
on
no,
the
sweetie,
inside.
he's not a bad person.
No.
But you need to fear him. So, back at Dolph's place, he's in the shower and he's visited by the goons again.
Right.
Just walking up in his house.
Just coming on in.
Yeah. So this time Don's with him. And Don's saying, well, I hired you 5 years ago to get me this shark. I want my shark.
Where's my fucking shark?
Which is, even for a criminal, that's a pretty unreasonable request.
Yeah, it's so silly.
Like, I've been in jail for 5 years. You really thought, like, where was I going to keep this shark? You think I keistered it and brought it into the prison with me?
Just Dolphin the shark sharing a cell.
Now Don is the guy that, John, you told us is in every single Dolph Lundgren movie ever made.
That's right.
Oh, okay, that's who he was. All right.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that's he must be a friend of Dolph's, because that's the only way he got in this, because of how he says the word precarious.
Precarious.
I rewound
He
it because
says
I was like, surely I heard that wrong.
Prescarious. He says Prescarious. You put me in this Prescarious position.
He's also a producer on the movie.
Oh, okay. It all
That
clears.
must be it. Like he
It
and
all comes together now.
yeah, he and Dolph both were producers. So they must be like production partners or something, and they just make all this crap together.
I guarantee you they were drinking the night before filming, and he was just like, I'm just going to say Presquarius.
I'm saying Prescarious.
So,
Hey Dolph, do you think it would be hilarious if I said Precarious?
Prescarious?
Dolph is like, yeah, you should say Precarious.
Nobody knows how to say that word anyway. Surely no one will notice.
Has Dolph gotten worse at acting?
I don't know.
Does he practice his
I
craft?
think more is just required of him now. Whereas before, he was just supposed to be Drago, and that's it.
Yeah.
And now he's required to have dialogue. And
Yeah, the unfortunate tale of the Masters of the Universe movie, where initially he was supposed to be dubbed, but they ran out of money, so they just left his voice in there.
that's the story of Dolph Lundgren's career. They ran out of money.
So Don gives Dolph 24 hours to come up with the money or get me my shark.
Yeah.
Dude really wants his shark.
Yeah. He desperately needs this bull shark for reasons.
It's like I got him this nice like little SpongeBob pineapple for his aquarium. Like without the shark, this stuff is useless.
Like, why does it have to be that shark? And then, like, in 5 years, if it was that important, in those 5 years, you didn't just say, maybe I should get another shark.
Yeah.
I'm gonna seek out another guy who can give me a shark.
Yeah.
Well, he's banking on Dolph's just going to get him the money. He doesn't actually think he's going to get the shark.
Or you figure, like as soon
It's
as
like
Dolph
that
went to
old-
jail, he was wringing his hands like, oh, wait for that motherfucker to get out of jail now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right to his trailer and say, hey, give me my shark or my money. And he planned it for 5 years. And that's the thing. It was a practice speech. And when he said Prosquarius, he was like, fuck. You've been practicing for 5 years?
So, back at the sheriff's station, we're introduced to kind of the Quint of the movie,
Kind of.
Yeah.
Gareth, who hunts sharks for a living for the BBC.
Which right then you should have known.
So he's gonna take over from here. He'll get the shark. The deputy is pushing on the sheriff to get that restraining order through because she doesn't know when Dolph's gonna show up for that kid.
Which, once again, this man has rights.
Yes.
Just because you're a cop doesn't mean that you can, like, just forego any of this.
Not in this town.
Ugh.
In this town, I am the law.
Well,
I decide who sees whose kids.
So Dolph starts gearing up by getting some very small nets out of his shack.
right?
No, yeah, okay, so I have notes about this too. He's like going through his shed just looking at all the shit he's got. So he like picks up his rifle. And he's like, nah.
Nah.
And then he picks up a bunch of
me these
wimpy
small
looking
nets.
poles and nets. And then he goes to leave, but then he's like, nah. And then he goes back for something else that we don't see.
Well, here's the other thing. If the blood was cleaned up for evidence, then why did they leave the rifle?
He's got a bunch of weapons. He ends up with a spear gun.
Well, and they just
Yeah,
left
he's got
that
all
all
kinds of
there?
shit down there.
And for 5 years, it sat there?
Well, they didn't think to look in the shed.
Yeah, but it's all pristine. I mean, his grass was even mowed.
Doesn't that fall to the police? Once you arrest somebody, you got to take care of their shit
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, do their landscaping.
Well, we put the
till they
guy
get
in
out.
jail. We got to make sure we clean his house, take care of his guns, and mow his lawn. And take care of his kid.
Yeah.
Now, here's a part of the movie that I know put a smile on Blake's face. The deputy tears ass over to Dolph's place, draws her weapon, and just walks right the
Walks
hell
right
out.
in.
Just goes right in.
And immediately, I'm
Gun drawn, ready to rock.
yelling fucking Fourth Amendment and... Oh, I was hot at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, he's down by his boat, and he sees her through the window.
right.
And he's like, eh,
Whatever.
Where's John saying?
everybody
Just
walks
look
up
it.
in my house. What?
Nah.
Nah.
Everybody just comes up in my house, so who cares?
Yeah. I really got to get a
She
lock
then
for
goes
that door.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's his locks, man?
So she starts snooping around in the shed, and she moves a table, and she finds this big long rifle round casing,
Yeah.
and she just takes it.
Right.
Just yeah, I'm gonna come in unwarranted, gun
Yeah.
out, find something, and just
Believe
take
me,
it
I'm
from
still
myself.
yelling at that point. Oh, now you're going to start taking shit? Is that what's going to happen now?
So from here we go back to Gareth, and he's interviewing some whore.
Yeah.
It's just on the street with some idiot. She can't even
gross me out.
This girl
totally.
This girl's in a movie and she can't even like enunciate her words a little bit.
Well,
Like you got in the movie, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Like
I'm sorry you find
use your
yourself.
words.
I'm sorry you find yourself in this Pasquarius situation of being in a movie. But, and then her Botox was real jacked up.
Well, this did get her noticed by Martin Scorsese.
Did it?
That's right. That's right.
Go ahead, John.
Well, she's in Wolf of Wall Street.
What'd she play? Random hooker number 3?
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's getting nailed in the background to one of those big old orgies.
Oh, so I'm right. Yeah, random hooker number 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Put her in the background so you can't see that jacked up Botox lip she's got going.
So Gareth is putting on this phony interview with her to make himself look good.
He's a flim-flam man.
He's a flim-flam
He's a
artist.
snake oil
and he's gonna
salesman.
bang this whole bachelorette party.
Yeah.
He sure is.
Because she's only in town for the bachelorette party because lakes are gross.
Right.
And so he says, well, I'm just going to crash the bachelorette party when this is all over.
And once again,
If I don't get eaten by a shark first, spoiler alert.
once again, if it would have been Omar saying these things, we'd have been totally okay with it.
You know what, Omar? I bet you will bang that whole bachelorette
Like,
party.
that scene would end, and I'd be like, I
Good for
hope he
you.
does.
That Omar's a good
Yeah,
kid.
he is. Good for him.
Get you some, Omar.
Yeah. But instead, because it's this limey bastard, we're like, no, not at all.
Well, this guy's like a cartoon. I mean, like,
Yeah.
compared to everybody else who's just, like, flat, boring, like, this guy's...
Well, he's the character that, like, the second he's introduced, you're like, oh yeah, he's dead.
He's like, oh, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
So Gareth goes out on the boat with the sheriff and his camera crew.
Right.
And he's doing his little spiel into the camera about how they're dealing with nature's serial killer. And he starts chumming to get the shark to come.
Does chum usually look like diarrhea?
I'm not sure what that was. But they clearly couldn't get any fish.
I usually
guts.
ask that in reverse. Is my diarrhea supposed to look like chum? Now, we'll say this. Did anybody else's audio go crazy when he was talking about chum in the water?
No.
I would rewind
I
it,
remember
and every time he said chum, my audio would go nuts on Netflix.
That's really weird.
I don't think that happened for me.
It did for me. It sounded like in the old days when your internet was like too slow to run a video. And it was only on that one part, and I rewound it and everything, and it kept doing it. And it was only on the word chum.
Didn't happen.
Wow.
For me.
No.
I made a note of it just in case.
The important stuff. Because that might be a question.
Well, you never know. With
What
these
word
things.
did the audio screw up on in the Netflix copy of it?
I was being thorough.
Oh, man, I gotta cross it out now.
Thank God.
So from here, we find the deputy is doing research on that shell, and she finds out that it's from an underwater rifle.
Right.
It's from a cool-ass Soviet underwater rifle.
Yeah. So she goes and finds old PhD, and she tells him that she thinks that Dolph's out hunting this shark, and so we're gonna go find him.
Right.
Cut back to Gareth, and he's talking about how he's gonna dart the shark first to make it sluggish, and then he's gonna get it to make it easier on
Right.
him. They spot a shark. He says it's about an 8-foot shark, but to the camera he calls it a 13-footer.
Pure flim-flam.
Yep.
So he goes in, his cameraman goes in, and here's the...
Suddenly, we're back in Jaws 3.
Everything is green screened. The divers are shaking around.
They used underwater footage that they previously took, and then this other footage of divers that wasn't motion controlled or anything.
Yeah. And just stuck them in this new environment. And it looks bad.
Even the scale is weird.
Yeah.
Like, the underwater shot is only like a few feet of water. But,
Yeah.
you know, they're deep in there
Yeah.
scuba diving.
They're like hobbits.
Don't get me started. You don't want to go down that road tonight.
So
And then to layer to additional layers, there's a terrible looking shark swimming around down there
yeah.
too.
yeah, there's actually two sharks in this scene. They're pulling a Jurassic Park clever girl
Exactly. That's
moment.
exactly what happened.
And yeah, they look bad as well. The goofiest looking shark faces. Like I can't even put it into words just how dopey these sharks look.
This is where the format fails us because you have to see the derpy faces on these things.
Like, if this was real life, if two divers are going down there, as soon as you'd see those, you'd be like, oh, kids are playing a prank with a fake shark. Like,
Yeah,
there's no way this is a real shark.
no, it's a balloon. That's an inflatable toy that looks like a shark.
The first thing that popped in my head when I saw the sharks in this view, and it's not even about a shark, but it's in the Dumbo movie when they're talking when the clowns are talking about getting Dumbo to jump out of the window, and he's like, elephants don't feel nothing, they made out of rubber, and like that's what I was thinking about the shark, like made out of rubber.
So the sharks attack. They get Gareth. They shred him to bits. The sheriff starts opening fire wildly in all
yeah.
directions from the boat.
Just shooting into the water, no idea where he's aiming.
Well, he should have just went ahead and shot the cameraman and saved everybody some trouble.
Yeah.
But
So-
instead, he died too.
So chalk up some more fatalities to the sharks, to this inept police force. Once again, they're back in the sheriff's station just, well, that didn't work.
Well, shit.
We screwed the pooch again, fellas.
They're back there just watching them. They're just watching the footage of those two get
Yeah.
eaten.
Yeah, that's right.
Just loving it. They're like, hold on, back it up. Yeah. That's the part.
Yeah, PhD's pointing out that there's 3 sharks. It's a mom and 2 pups, and they're coordinating their attacks. So, which he says is odd. Then he decides, oh, let's go get a drink, you and me.
Right.
Hey,
Even though,
now that we've watched this grisly shark attack footage, you want to go on a date or something? You down to mess around or what's up?
That's exactly what he has planned on
Oh
doing.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So they go out. They're having their drink, discussing current events.
Right.
And she's asking him, do you think these sharks enjoy killing? Do you think they're sentient?
God damn it.
Do you think they're
That
evil?
was part of the ending I was planning.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you. If your thing was replacing the PhD guy with Steven Seagal,
No,
that's
not
it.
at all.
That's how you make this
No.
movie better.
But it did have a lot to do with sentient fish, so I'll start
You just
constructing a new
replace
one.
him with Seagal. So he then goes into this weird explanation on the nature of animals, and I know he's going to form it into a pickup line.
Right.
Yeah.
Where he starts saying that all animals are programmed to do three things. Number one, they're all programmed to protect their young. Wrong. They absolutely are not. And using a very short amount of research, guess what one animal does not do that?
A bull shark.
Fucking bull sharks.
It wasn't on that one page, y'all.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, there you go. That's the callback to the, I'm glad they used some shark research
That's
in this.
funny. If only they had skimmed a paragraph further down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he says there's that. He says, what was the second thing? They eat. They all look for food.
Survival,
Yeah.
I think.
For survival.
Yeah.
And you know the last one's going to be. You know what the last one's going to be.
I don't know. They never told us.
Yeah.
I'm eagerly waiting to find out what it was.
It's going to be banging.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be. Because that's his pickup.
Well, whenever she's asking, well, what's the third thing? Like, what popped in my head was, well, what would a 28-year-old do? Stupid avalanche sharks.
It's at this point that we have the setup to the best scene of the movie, where the little girl, she's looking for clues about her dad Dolph, and she finds his file
Right.
that the deputy has, and she's rifling through it, and she finds his address, and she rips it out, and she starts to sneak away, and Granny comes out. She says she's taking the dog for a walk.
Right.
That son of a bitch
That
dog.
goddamn dog.
My note
See,
here is Grandma continues hating the dog.
So she wants to know if the little girl wants to go with her. Please don't leave me along with this fucking dog.
I need company.
To which the little girl says, "Nope, sorry, Granny." So Granny takes the dog out on a walk by herself, and one of the lines she says, she screams at the dog to heel, and then she says, "That means nothing to you." So this dog is dragging her all over the place, and there's some kids with fireworks shooting Roman candles out into the
Right.
water, and the dog's dragging her towards these kids, and the kids then the kids are like, they're like taunting the dog on.
Yeah, the kid notices the dog and like immediately becomes an enormous asshole, I guess.
It's like, hey, I bet that old lady looks like she hates this dog. Let me fuck with
Yeah.
it. So the dog pulls away from her. The kid throws his burnt out Roman candle into the water to make the dog fetch it. So
Wait, can I stop you
this
for a
woman-
second?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were shooting Roman candles.
What do you think they were doing?
I don't know. I just saw him throw something, so I thought he just threw a stick in there. I was wondering what the sound was. I was like, what the fuck's that sound? I didn't catch him throwing Roman candles.
Yeah. Again, good riddance to those notes. Wrought with errors. So the kid throws the Roman candle into the lake. The dog takes off. This woman hates this fucking dog. So she decides she's going to wade out into the lake after the dog. Because why
Right.
not? Why not? Don't wait for the dog to come back. That bastard dog might never come back.
Dog.
Then I'm going to have to hear it from the kid about this stupid frickin' dog that I have to take care of died. So she goes, she picks up her skirts, and off into the water she goes. So the deputy and the PhD are back at her place, and he's just being smooth as hell.
He's basically just being like, are we gonna do it or what?
Pretty much.
I don't understand. Like, she insisted on driving, and then they just go back to her place, and then she gives him his keys.
Yeah.
That was part of the man hating
Like-
I was talking about. No man was going to drive her around town, even if it is his car.
I mean, I assumed it was because he was drunk, but then she has no problem just giving him his keys.
No, it's my reason.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
but she's not having it at all. She's not even like, she's not even in the realm of fucking him.
No,
No.
not at all. There's a quick little scene of the girl on her bicycle riding away, just to establish that she's gone.
Right.
We cut back to the deputy in the PhD, and there's a shout that gets their attention. And Granny is neck deep in the water, swimming away from a
Which
shark.
looked hilarious.
Her face was fantastic. It was more just like she was running from like a mouse.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, gotta get away from this mouse. But it's a bull
It was
shark.
the face of, can you believe they're paying me to do this?
So the deputy grabs the shotgun out of the house and takes off running towards the lake. Granny manages to outswim this shark,
Right.
Incredible.
beats it back to the shore, and as she's stumbling out, does the deputy, grab her mother and help her to safety? No. She just ghosts right by
Right.
her and starts opening fire on
Oh,
the
she's
shark.
trying to kill the shark.
She goes ham on that shark.
She does.
Blasts him
11
off.
shots. 11 shots from that shotgun. Now, I'm not going to pretend I know how many shells fit in a shotgun, but I've played video games, and I don't remember any shotguns having 11 shells in
No,
them.
not that shotgun. And I would like to say, I think you're wrong on the shot count.
Really? Because I went back and counted.
I went back and counted them too.
Well, you haven't been really, on the ball with your...
I'd be willing to take a side bet though.
Oh, nah. I'm not doing that. No side action.
Well, it was 10 shots.
I'm not that
It was 10 shots. The first one you thought you heard was her cocking the gun. Because it fooled me.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I believe you on
10
that
shots. Because I remember writing that down.
one. So, yeah.
I don't have proof that I wrote it down.
So she kills the shark. Granny's fine by all accounts. They're gonna cut it open. Let's cut it open. And it's much later. It's much later from the incident because the police
Yeah.
are there.
It's
the
nighttime
granny's all
now.
the granny's all swaddled up in a blankie. And they're just now noticing that the girl's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
It's been like hours.
Yeah. They just noticed the girl's gone, and what does the deputy do? Automatically jumps to the conclusion that Dolph Lundgren kidnapped her. It's the only possible scenario. So now, the girl arrives at Dolph's. She's sneaking around through the house.
She just goes right in.
Yeah, another person just
He
walks
needs
right
to
the
quit
hell in.
spending money on tiny nets and invest in a deadbolt.
So they call out an APB for him kidnapping this girl. Based on nothing.
No evidence
On
whatsoever.
Exactly.
The girl chim-chims her way onto his boat.
Why does she get in the fucking boat? She doesn't find him in the house, and then
Nope. She sees the boat and says, "Why not hide in the compartments of the boat?"
Why not? For plot purposes.
Right.
Yeah. So, an unnamed officer, arrives first on the scene, and again, just up into his house.
Right on in. Gun drawn.
Nobody's there. He's probably halfway to Canada now. So, what do you? But then a truck pulls up, and it's Dolph. So he calls in backup.
Yeah.
Before he even
he knows
engages.
anything.
Dude's just coming back from a farmer's market, but calling back.
He's got a bucket. Dangerous bucket.
He's loading up onto his boat, and the officer approaches him and says that he's under arrest for the kidnapping of that little girl.
Right. And Dolph's like, well, this is a Persquarius situation.
So the little girl jumps out, "Don't hurt my dad!" And Dolph attack.
He does the dumbest thing he could possibly do.
Yeah, assault a police
physically
officer.
assault the cop.
Swats the gun with his tiny net, knocks out the cop. So, and then decides, I'm going to take this girl out on the boat and we're going to go hunt a shark together. So now he is kidnapping her.
Yeah.
If there's anything
He was
that's
in the clear.
going to clear my name, is beating the shit out of this cop and taking this girl with me.
The cop comes to. And then not only does he beat up the cop, he then tosses the cop into shark-infested
Exactly.
waters.
Yeah. A case could be made for attempted murder here.
Right. Yes. I don't think we ever see that cop again.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
For all intents and purposes, that cop's dead.
Right. He's dead.
So, Dolph and his daughter have a touching little reunion scene on the boat where they decide, when all this is over, let's go get tacos at the playground.
Yeah.
Does he actually think? I'm actually curious now because does he actually think this is going to happen? They're just going to be able to hang out,
Seems like a solid
or is
plan.
he just
Why
trying
not?
not to upset the girl? Because he knows he's going to go to jail for attacking a police officer.
For probably killing a police
Yeah.
officer.
But it's okay. We're going to go get tacos and fight a polar bear.
So they start to speed away, and she says, "You're going the wrong way." He says, "We're going to take the long way." So he's taking her shark hunting too.
Yeah.
Cut back to Deputy and PhD, and they're getting in the PhD's boat, and there's the line. "I don't think your boat's big enough."
Yep.
Dun 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 dun.
But also, she demands
no,
to
no.
drive that boat as well. Man-hating. This is his damn boat.
Yeah. So they're pulling out on that boat, and we're introduced to a new character.
She probably even paid for the
Jet
drinks
ski
they had
guy.
at that bar.
Would that piss you off?
Oh, yes.
If she did pay?
Damn women doing men's jobs.
Oh my god.
Well, at least the pants that they gave her for her uniform are way tighter than everyone else's pants.
See, what I said was harmless fun. What you're saying is just wrong.
So, anyway, we're introduced to Jet Ski Guy. Who the fuck is this guy?
I don't know, but he's got the best scene in the whole fucking movie. Not this scene, but
Yeah. So he comes in and he says he's going hunt the shark, and he's not leaving the shark up to you two assholes. I'm going to go
Right.
get him. And they said, "No, you need to get off the lake because people are dying." He's like, "Fuck you, I got a jet ski."
Later, idiots.
Yeah. And so he
who
takes
knew
off.
that'd be foreshadowing in some weird way?
Yeah, yeah. Just when you think there's what point could be introducing this new character now
Right.
be? Well, you're gonna find out in about 10 seconds. Because We then cut to the deputy and PhD out silently cruising with their flashlights looking for the shark.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it's also the foggiest night in history.
Yeah. The
but
fog
only
hits.
in this one shot.
Right.
Yeah. So, visibility on the lakes might be a little bit low.
Yeah. and then you
So-
hear a jet ski.
Yeah, the unexpected happens. And it's not a shark attack.
The jet ski runs into the boat, and it looks like the fucking Moab hit it, and just a big fiery explosion.
He hits their outboard motor and blows it up and it up
Right.
alone.
But it's a huge explosion.
I didn't understand what happened at first, and I had to rewind it and watch it again. Because who could have possibly expected that?
Yeah, this was
This
like
jet-
the most insane thing that happened in
Jet
this
ski
movie.
guy who they just met seconds ago would just kamikaze.
It was the one thing in the movie that I said, "Huh, didn't see that coming."
Yeah, yeah.
That wasn't in Jaws.
Or maybe it wasn't. I just missed it. I don't know, but I don't remember that.
Well, you know what? It was probably they're ripping it off that scene where all the guys are out bumping into each other trying to catch the shark.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
They just took
Just
it.
a
They
much
took
more
it to the next
violent-
level.
yeah. It's an extreme version of that scene.
somebody needs to remake Jaws and have that scene with exploding boats.
Yeah.
So that happened. PhD gets thrown out of the boat by the explosion. He's yelling at the deputy to throw him a rope instead of just swimming back to the goddamn
Right.
boat.
He's not even
he
that
swim-
far.
He swims out to jet ski guy to see if he's okay, and he doesn't seem like he's okay. So he starts swimming back to the boat. But then jet ski guy wakes up, so he turns around and starts swimming back to him again.
Yeah.
Then the shark pops up, and so he gives up on jet ski guy and starts going back to the original boat again. Jet ski guy gets munched. They pull PhD back into the boat, and he lets out a little tension scream.
Because nothing gets them broads hot and ready to go than you screaming at water.
Blah!
Uh,
So that happens. He says, okay, seriously now, we need to call it quits because we are not good at this.
right.
To which she says, nope, Dolph's still out here. We got to hunt him down.
Oh wait, boat sinking
Wait,
though.
the boat's sinking because it just exploded.
It took so long for them to show any damage to the boat that I was like really concerned
Well-
that it was just going to be totally like fine.
The engine, the motor back there, took 0 damage.
Yeah.
It just didn't start anymore.
Right. But it looked pristine.
For having a jet ski incinerate into
Right.
it.
I mean, it was fine.
So, the boat's sinking. There's a little time jump, and now they're on just if you can call it a bow of this boat.
Right.
And he's making Titanic cracks.
Yeah.
He takes one of their tiny nets and turns it into a weapon.
Because he forgot to bring his Glock, he said.
Yes.
So what is it? A
the-
spear? Was it a spear or like a
Yeah,
club?
he
type
he
thing?
breaks off the net part, and he's just got the sharp
Yeah.
end. She's using her phone as a GPS signal so that they can hopefully find them loose adrift on the lake. This is the scene, John,
Yeah.
where they try to do this shot to establish just how hopelessly alone they are in the middle of the water, where they're both floating there, and it's an aerial shot and the camera pans way out just to show that they're just this little speck in all this water.
Right.
Except for the fact that the water doesn't change scale.
Exactly.
They just shrink.
So insane.
I was also thinking,
And then-
as quickly as those waves are moving in that water, they should reach land in no time.
Yeah. They just slowly shrink away into these waves.
And they're like matted out with like the crappiest mat. Like they're sitting. There's like a black halo around them, and the water is got bright ass moonlight on
Yeah,
it.
way too bright.
So they stand out.
There's no way anyone looked at that in post and said, "Yeah, it's good."
Yeah,
They said, "We got to get this
the
thing
moonlight
done."
thing, you bring up a good point with the moonlight. It was supposed to be it was foggy at that point.
dude. Oh, the weather was changing all over the place. Like I said, from shot to shot,
Yeah.
there'd be like crazy fog and then absolutely no fog.
Also, Dolph
it was
Lundgren's
like-
haircut didn't change the whole 5 years he was in prison.
Yeah, the jet ski guy was a weather wizard that controlled the fog just so he could attack because he hates outboard motors. He loves jet
That's right.
skis.
Jet engines is where it's at. It's the future.
So, when they're done shrinking, here comes the sharks. It's an underwater shot just to establish that the shark's there. They have a little talk about how he was going to have some handcuff sex, and he got handcuffed to a pink futon for 9 hours, which I didn't understand why that needed to happen.
Yeah, why do we have this conversation? It's just so the shark can sort of like dance around behind him and like give him bunny ears and stuff.
Right.
Like it's just messing around back there.
The shark then kind of jostles them by getting in between them and just shaking a little
Right.
bit and splits them up. PhD gets attacked, and he manages to kill the shark.
Yes.
He just beats it to death with his handle of a net. So, good for him.
Right?
Yeah.
Kills the shark, but second shark. And brings down PhD, and that's it for him. He gets
Surprise,
dead.
motherfucker.
Yeah. As he's laughing. Because he starts laughing because he managed to kill the shark, and then second shark.
Right.
That's how it's going to go down, John. If we manage to kill that polar bear, there will be a second polar bear.
Boom. Second polar bear. Papa bear.
Yeah. So the shark starts going for the deputy, and as it gets close, a miraculous hand comes down and pulls her out of the water.
By the grace of God,
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren shows up.
Yeah. To which then it cuts to the shark swimming into the camera, and in my closed captioning it says, "Thud."
Yes, it did say that. Also, whenever she was saved out the water, like when you see the hand grab her, I immediately said, "Oh yeah, Dolph Lundgren's in this movie."
Yeah. Because for it, us recounting it, it sounds like he's in
But
it
he's
a
not.
lot. But he's really not. I mean, we're glossing through these scenes. The scenes without him are the majority of the movie.
And then whenever you do see him, he's either got like no lines. He just keeps
Yeah.
picking up this bucket and putting it in a boat, and then like putting it back in his truck, and then putting it back in the boat.
Yeah, for a guy who was supposed to catch a shark in 24 hours, he was taking his time getting out on that water.
He's lollygagging. Yeah.
Like they visited him, it had to be 7:30 in the morning, is what I'm figuring. Tell him he's got 24 hours.
Yeah.
Dude didn't start the engine on the boat till after nightfall.
Yeah. Well, you had to go into town and get that bucket.
The only reason he started up is because he assaulted a police officer.
So Dolph pulls her onto the boat. She finds out that the little girl left on her own.
Right.
But that doesn't change anything. Because she continues being horrible.
Man hating.
They go into this speech about, Dolph tries to make a case for himself, like, that's my daughter. He said, no, that's my daughter. It's actually not.
But it was a very touching scene when he said that you did for her when I couldn't do anything and blah blah blah, and I was like, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it was kind of nice. That was actually pretty nice.
It was nice. And then I was like, yeah, but this bitch don't let dudes drive their own cars.
So
our touching scene is interrupted.
Yeah, touching scene is interrupted by the shark returning again.
Yeah. A la
Jaws.
Jaws 3, it comes back.
Yeah. Bashes into the boat. So now there's awful CG water pouring into the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, the damage to this boat is the worst looking CG. They did not have the money to mess up a boat.
No. During the commotion, the little girl falls into the water.
Right.
And Dolph dives in after her, heroically. She is a mile away from the boat.
Suddenly.
That current just got her. So Dolph's swimming up to her. He gets to her and he starts pulling her back, but here comes the shark. So he tells the little girl to swim back to the boat because he's got to break this shark. And which, when I say that, he actually starts punching the shark. He is beating the shark to death with his hands.
This is what all that training was for.
So he's beating up the shark. Again, the dopiest looking shark.
Oh yeah, it was
so
it
dopey.
was crazy.
He's then it gets him. It bites him on the arm. It's not looking good. Suddenly he's saved by the shark gets shot, and it's the deputy in the water with the underwater rifle.
And the effect, the effect. They just make it look like she fired a round. They just put in one white frame
Yeah.
in the movie. To
Oh yeah.
it look like she fired a gun.
Earlier when she was shooting the shotgun, that was another case of we don't have money for blanks for dummy rounds, so just pantomime it and we'll paint in a muzzle flash.
They put in smoke too, like
Yeah.
coming out of the chamber, which is, somebody was trying a little bit.
Don't give these people credit. So she saves him. They're floating there in the water, like, oh, you saved me. Like, oh, no, you saved me. That kind of crap that happened in the last movie. They then hear the little girl crying out to them, like, hey, remember me, idiots? And it pans back, and that boat's going down. Like, fast. And the girl's just there with her hands on the edge, just like, are you assholes going to do something? and then it cuts. And they apparently wash up on shore the next day.
Yeah.
Took all night.
Like I said,
It took all night.
biggest lake in existence. Because they were paddling all night.
Yeah. They come up on shore. A random jogger's coming by. The deputy says, I need your phone.
And she says, a what?
She's looking at... A what? She's looking at Dolph. Dolph says, you should have seen the fish.
Yeah.
That's his one-liner of the movie. That's his smile, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So we then cut. Sheriff's there. Everybody's being questioned, and the deputy's sticking up for Dolph, saying that, he saved me, he saved the little girl. Cut him some slack. The sheriff uncuffs him. The little girl's wondering what's going to happen to him. Oh, we just need to ask him some questions.
Right.
Now, here's where things get foggy for me, because it was at this point I have checked the fuck out of this movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Don has been arrested.
Yes.
And he's in the back of one of the cars.
God.
What?
Yeah. I was like, what
Please
the
tell me I
fuck?
missed something.
Nope.
No.
They just tidy that up by, oh, we got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they never say if Dolph Lundgren is even free or to go or not. I mean, we don't know.
Well, we see his truck driving off into the sunset on his next adventure.
But is that because he escaped?
I don't know. I'm more hung up on the Don. Because
Yeah.
for all we know, when he left Dolph's house halfway through the movie, he walked right into a police ambush. There's no way to know.
Well, throughout this whole movie, the cops are always going for the wrong thing anyway. So maybe that explains that.
It was all a clever ruse. Yeah. It was all distractions to get the Don.
Smoke and mirrors.
And why did they like bring him to this scene?
Just to show what kind of prosquarious situation he was in.
Yeah. They're like, just bring him over here. Let's show him what's going on over here.
Because that's what happens when you get arrested. The cops really say, "All right, so where can we bring him to really humiliate him?"
Yeah. We got to bring him over here so Dolph can gloat at him for a little bit. He's got gloating rights.
Yeah. So that's it. Dolph drives off in his baby blue truck to some trance music.
Yeah.
And we're done.
That last shot, though, must have been, like, the most expensive shot in the movie. That, like, trailing the car on the cliff.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't just a still shot of a cliff road and the car just shrinks.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And that was Shark Lake.
I kind of expected PhD to come back, like Hooper style.
Yeah.
You know, because like I wasn't really convinced that he got eaten. Because the way they shoot these things, everything is just so. You know, you don't see anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was hoping he would pop back up, but no dice.
Not gonna happen. So, with that little bit out the way, we got to do some business. Time for the quiz.
I'm ready.
All right, jerks.
Lay it on us.
Whoo! All right, what is Clint's address?
Shit.
They must have shown it like 4 or 5 different times.
Luckily for me, I wrote it down.
Somewhere.
How tall did Patrick say the bear was?
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Too deep?
No.
What was the name of the boat next to PhD's boat?
Oh, shit.
Shit. Oh, what was it? I know half of it. God damn it.
What state is this movie set
Oh,
in?
God damn it. I remember writing it down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that one.
Oh, fuck.
And what did our old man who got attacked by the bear, what did his hat say?
What?
He had a word embroidered on his hat.
A word?
Just
Yeah.
one word.
I'm not too thrilled about my answers this week.
All right, you guys all set?
I'm ready.
I'm set.
All right. What is Clint's address?
I said he lived on Pine Road.
No, it was
But that's all I got.
14 Lake Road.
Oh man, it was 14 Pine Road.
Son of a bitch!
Oh,
That's pretty funny.
I was so confident. Damn you, notes.
damn you! Totally inaccurate notes.
Well, if I had the notes, I wouldn't be inaccurate.
How tall did Patrick say the bear was?
I just have a guess.
I
I just said 25 feet.
I said 20 feet.
Oh, 22 feet tall.
I knew it was an exaggerated thing.
Yeah. Patrick's an idiot. What was the name of the boat next to Peter's boat?
Okay, it was something chicken. I'm gonna guess it was the crazy chicken because I really don't remember what the other part was.
I don't remember.
It's fighting chicken.
Oh.
The fighting chicken. Because I remember seeing like, who the fuck named their boat after a chicken?
What state is the movie set in?
Nevada.
I said Oregon.
Nevada is correct.
Yep. It was filmed in Biloxi.
Yeah. Well, there was a second unit that actually took footage of Lake Tahoe. A lot of that stuff, like the opening sequence, like the credit sequence with all those nice like shots of lakes and stuff. I was like, oh, this is definitely stock footage.
Yeah.
But there was no stock house in the credits, so I guess they actually spent money on a second unit and got footage. Impressive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where we're at, we're 1-1 right now, right? Or 1-0 for Chase.
I think it's
1-0.
I think it's 1-0. What did the old man's hat say?
I said it said hat.
Nope. This is one I'm definitely sure of.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
It said retired.
It said retired.
Oh. So 1-1.
Yeah. You're still up by 3.
So this week didn't matter at all.
Fucking notes. All proud of myself yelling out 14 Lake Road, you dumb fucking bastard.
So close, though.
You know when you heard
that's so
14, you were
close.
like, oh shit. And then...
I was like, oh, hey.
Well, there you go. Okay. Still up by 3.
anybody's game at this point.
2 weeks to go.
Tell you what,
So,
I will say this.
What?
I had a goose egg last week. I took notes this week, but I forgot the notes, and I got 1.
It's an improvement.
By week 4, that's your ass.
Oh my god.
Because imagine if I remember the notes. Cool.
My goal is to increase my 3-question lead to 5 next week, so it's impossible for you to win.
Not going to happen. Because look, what's going to happen is next week I'm going to have the notes, and I'll read them and I'll study them, and I'm going to do okay. And the last week, not only am I going to have notes, but I'm going to have accurate notes, and I'm going to read them and I'm going to study them, and we're going to be good.
I don't want to watch Belly of the Beast off of YouTube.
And the only way I'd make it better would just be one scene, since I can't talk about the sentient fish, would be after the bar scene, after PhD gets rejected, he'd call up his old buddy Steven Seagal, and Seagal would be like, "Well, how was the date?" He said, "Well, she turned me down." "What do you mean she turned you down?" "Well, she bought the drinks." Did you talk about the trout sex?" Yeah, that'd be it.
Yeah. Mine was just replace PhD entirely with Steven Seagal.
Which would be good.
It would be pretty good.
But you know Seagal went for the whole dying in a movie thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. At the end, when all the police are there and they've got the Don captured, he walks out, and it turns out he had a twin brother.
No. The Don's in back the police car, and when the car drives away, it's Seagal driving the police car. Because he always gets his man.
I was so flummoxed by just Don being there for no reason that I just want to fix the movie, So instead of Meredith killing the shark, I just wanted Dolph to show up on Don's doorstep with the shark under his arm. Just throw it at him. I had to wrap it up nice and tidy.
The shark under one arm and that goddamn dog on a leash in the other hand.
It's son of a bitch dog.
Did the dog get eaten?
No.
The dog disappeared.
No, it made it out.
Right? It did? Okay. I missed that shot then.
That dog lives to terrorize that old woman another day.
The eternal struggle continues.
All right, John. So, what are we watching next week for Shark Month?
Next week is Dark Tide. God. This one I'm a little worried about. Rotten Tomatoes score is 0%.
Yikes.
It's out of 19 critics.
Yet it stars an Oscar winner.
Yeah. It's got Halle Berry. It's got other people in it too. I think a dude that was in Lost is in it. Anyway. It's got a 4.3 out of 10 on IMDb, which is,
It's quite respectable.
better than any of these other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A $25 million budget.
Huh.
Shit.
So that's, I guess we'll see how that shakes out.
23 more million than most of the ones we watch.
Yeah. I found one of my favorite reviews that I saw on Rotten Tomatoes was Stephen Holden of the New York Times says, "It is often impossible to figure out what's going on." But then found this review. Good movie to watch. 4 stars. I don't know what else you'd do with a movie, but watch it. And then
Good movie to watch. Great movie not to watch.
Yeah. I think my favorite review was the title of the review was Sucked. The entire body of the review was Sucked. But still give it 3 stars though.
So what's it about?
It's like Halle Berry's like a shark dive instructor or something. And then she has to hang up her cage because some guy dies on her watch. But then some rich dude tries to get her back in the game because he wants to see a shark real bad. I don't know why
This does not sound like an exciting movie.
No, dude. Honestly, I think I almost fell asleep watching the trailer.
All right. Well.
Uh-oh.
What's the uh-oh for?
So.
I'm just worried that we're gonna get in here next week and be like, ugh, I got nothing to say. It was just boring and just boring and nothing happened. The end.
Who knows? Maybe there'll be a cantankerous old woman and her four-legged not so friend.
I'm sure there'll be some
I hope
injustice done that I'm gonna have to yell about,
Yeah, probably.
and some man hating gonna definitely go on.
At least in the trailer, there was actual shark footage. You know, like we've watched 2 movies about sharks and haven't seen a damn real shark yet.
So real quick before we go, just to end it tidily, I guess. If you could make a shark movie, what would it be? Like,
Shouldn't we save this for the end of Shark
I
Month?
don't know. Just elevate a pitch a shark movie. Only say this because something just popped in my head. I guess I'll save it for the end.
Yeah, I'd like
Save it,
to.
'cause
You know,
I need time to think.
yeah. Now that you got this seed planted, I gotta think about it.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll do that at the end of Shark Month.
Okay.
We'll pitch our shark movies.
Good. I'm ready.
I've got a feeling that that's going to be a long episode, considering the length of the last movie of Shark Month.
Holy shit.
All I got.
So yeah, obviously we've.
All I gotta say
We've
is
got-
I can
yeah.
sum up my. It's 2 words that all I gotta say is for my shark movie, so it won't take me long to explain it. So we're good.
Good.
Yeah. Well, you know, again, hopefully that movie will have a bunch of stuff we can sort of. It's
Yeah.
just like mediocre dialogue scene.
Yeah, we'll get to that. First, we got to get through this rip-roaring adventure of redemption, of looking at sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand. I can't wait to find out why this rich guy can't just go to one of the many other
anyone.
places that you can dive with sharks. He needs Halle Berry for some reason.
Well, that reason we will find out this week.
All right.
So
Thank
we're
God.
we're watching Dark Tide. Watch it or don't. We recommend you
Right.
don't. So we will see you next week, folks.